Hoi, and it's Sunday night, end of the weekend. Time for another live stream. Valentine's Day. Hey, Singles Awareness Day tomorrow. Be aware of singles, apparently. Hello, Mr. Grant Gregory and Megalich. Alive, ho. I have been feeling a little bit tired this afternoon because Friday and Saturday night were catching up with me. Friday night out with friends just before lockdown, visiting some distilleries. And again, we weren't being saying, last big blast before lockdown. We had actually had this planned for several weeks. I would have been pissed off if we'd had it planned for Saturday night, which meant we would have missed out. So we went out on Friday night, had several drinkies, did the live stream last night, went till fucking 2 a.m., so it's a 6-hour live stream. It was a very good live stream, I thought. Lots of people joining in on camera and on microphone. And I thought it was a very good stream. I really enjoyed it. I also made several drinks, not that many. You had 4 drinks over 6 hours. That's not bad. So I actually felt pretty good after that. But it's just because it's so late. I did sleep in, but and so today's been all out of whack because of how much I slept in. But then I started to get tired again. So we'll see how we go. You know. Hydrate, having a fruity beverage. I should, before I stirred it, this is orange juice, lemonade, and homemade grenadine, and which is kind of like stuff you put in tequila sunrise, and you don't mix them. So grenadine sinks to the bottom, and then you have like orange juice and tequila on top, and it sort of fades up. And that's exactly what it looked like. It was really red and faded up the orange, and because I topped it with lemonade, it was quite light at the top. But I wanted to mix it to drink it. Abigail, very dead. So dead. This message is being sent from the grave. Oh, migraine hell. Not good. Toby's still feeling attacked. What do you call it, Toby? That meme, which I shared last night, was very funny. It did kind of feel like it was about me, which was pretty goddamn funny, quite honestly. I must allow for that. So let me see. Just what's gonna happen in this world? What are we doing? I'm just trying to get things set. As people usually ask, I don't know if Aidsy is going to be with us this evening. So we will see what happens. And take it from there. We will just take it from there. And look, I'm getting better. I am working out slowly how Twitch works. There you go. There was just a couple real saddos. Yeah, Toby, it felt like it was deliberately targeted. I don't want to sound like a victim, but it felt like it was straight up targeted at me. So, and I mean that in a funny way. I just found it really funny. So congrats on that. I'm trying to remember what the actual meme was. So we shall see. Oh, hello to Celtic King hanging out with Toby as well, by the by. So, yes, we shall continue on and just I think this is a take it easy evening. And we will just see what happens as the evening progresses, as we usually do. So, made it through another week. But I don't know who else goes back to work tomorrow. I know we all have different work lives. Not everyone's Monday to Friday. I did note, okay, so we all have our little freak out in Melbourne with our lockdown because a growing number of cases spiraling out from the hotel quarantine, which is hopefully under control, tracking all people, getting people to isolate, and hopefully we put a little clamp on it. I did notice a bunch of absolute dickheads today when went out for a walk. There were actually less people wearing masks than there were people wearing masks. It's really fucking annoying. Annette, remote learning tomorrow. Yes, I guess that's the dealio for next week. And howdy to you, Doc Savage. Nice to see you. And yes, we continue on. But now New Zealand, out of nowhere, at least we know where our cases are coming from. We know exactly where they're coming from, which is, as they say, half the battle. And New Zealand that has had no cases in months in the whole country. Suddenly, a family of 3 are all positive for the Rona. And it's like, well, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come? And I think they're freaking out a little bit because they don't know where it's come from. So, yeah. So it's pretty wild. Abigail went for a walk to the chemist and it was blissfully empty. Yes. So, yeah, you too saw too many people without masks. No, we just went for a walk around the park, just, little get some air and stretch the legs walk, and which used about what little energy I had. And there was actually more people either just no sign of a mask at all, or fuckwits walking around with it under their chins. I assume they mean, if a cop drives past, they're going to pull it up. People really shit me. Oh, nice. Toby, planning to buy a kilt. If I could remember the name of the site where I bought mine, I'd recommend it to you because it was really high quality. Not cheap as such, but really good quality. Yes, it's the way it is. All right, forget that. I'm sorry. I just had to check something on the computer, and the actual answer is forget it. It's not a thing, so I'll kill that, and it's all good. Yes, Annette, utility kill. That's what I got. That's very good. Oh, Toby, you must have missed my admission the other night. I fear I may have put on too much of a COVID gut, and I'm blaming COVID rather than just me just intrinsically being a lazy fat bastard. My kilt possibly doesn't fit me anymore. I haven't tried, but I'm a bit worried. And yeah, we haven't. I probably would have got more into the kilt if it was very hot this summer because it's nice having a little bit of airflow. But we've had a really mild summer. I think this week's warm, not blistering hot, but yeah, high 20s to low 30s all week. That's a really sunny, warm week for this time of year. There you go. This is you join in the Angry Aussie live stream to get exciting weather updates. It's just non-stop excitement, really, isn't it? So yes, I don't know what else has been happening. It's just Valentine's Day. It's also the anniversary of Cook getting cooked in the Hawaiian Islands, which is what the motherfucker deserved. You know, on account of all the rape and murder and pedophilia that he and his crew were into. So, yes, they were all bastards. And he was a bastard. And he was probably dying and being literally driven insane by the effects of syphilis and tuberculosis, and kind of overstepped his perception of himself as a white god, and it was just brought to an untimely end, or a timely end, by the Hawaiian people. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Dangerfield is selling kilt-ish clobber. Are they aiming that at femme or masque, or is it just there? Because the site where I bought my kilt, all the imagery is very manly men. There's a very manly men sort of thing going on. So, so yes, but then when I buy funny stuff like that off Facebook, then I get really weird ads. And I think I was mentioning this last night because I bought the gothy vest from Facebook. I get a lot of gothy stuff advertised, which, okay, makes sense. B, get a lot of fetish stuff advertised, which, okay, I can kind of see the connection. And C, get a lot of really super gay stuff advertised to me on Facebook, which I find really humorous. But anyway. Ooh, nice. Annette, Ali bought a curve-sized femme one. But there are many others there too. Okay. That might be an option for you, Toby, if there's a Dangerfield store anywhere near your locale. They might have something suitable. Who can tell? Ah, yes, I like that, Annette. Yeah, the punky schoolgirl Scottish punk vibe. Yeah. Yeah, that's a vibe. That's a whole vibe. It goes back to the 80s. Actually, probably to the sort of punk stuff in the 70s, really. But yes, some things don't go out of fashion, really, do they? So I always think it's funny to see people dressing in very sort of derivative punky style, which is fine as a fashion thing. But when they think they're scaring it, do I scare you, old man? And it's like, hey, kid, I'm in my 50s and I'm too young to have been an actual punk. Okay, actual punk stuff happened when I were a little lad, and so you're trying to say you're cutting edge while imitating a fashion from 40 years ago. So maybe don't try so hard. Oh, Annette, apparently purple plaid is huge this year. Okay. Fashion tips, you heard it here first. Probably not first. Well, unless you're a real fashion head, it might be the first time you've heard it. Purple plaid, aka purple tartan, in this season. Oh, no, Toby, no Dangerfields near you. Oh, well, online might be the answer. I mean, I think honestly, when I say like, what was the kilt store called? I think it was called the Kilt Store. Um, what Gmail account am I logged into on this computer? Okay, that one. I might actually look. I might be able to find it for you. Uh, let me see. I'll do a quick look. Right row. What's that? Okay. If I search my mail for. Oh, yeah, it's just called the Scottish Kilt Shop. Wow, it was like 2.5 years ago. No, wait, fuck, shit. Oh, it's 2021. It's not 2020 anymore. Deep sigh, 3.5 years ago. 3.5 years ago that I bought the kilt. And it's called the Scottish Kilt Store. So they say I will just put the Earl in here. Yeah, it's just called Scottish Kilt Shop. I would recommend them because they have a good range and they were a good price. Abigail, you have too many Dangerfields near you. So dangerous, most of your wardrobes from there. Oh, wow. Annette, your BFF in Sydney bought a utility kilt back in the 90s. Wow. Um, that's a bit more pioneering. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it was on a live stream. We started having a conversation about utility kilts. And I looked them up and I'm just like, I'm going to get one utility kilt. And I got one. Uh, yeah, Toby, there's probably other options, but from personal experience, the Scottish Kilt Shop is good quality. And that you outfit the whole family at Dangerfield. I've got stuff from Dangerfield. They have some good shirts sometimes. Oh, okay, it's probably enough Scottish Kilt Shop. Kilts for men, bagpipers, kilts for women. Rainbow kilt for stylish man. That is a weird looking kilt. Ah, yeah, no, they've got those punky schoolgirl ones as well. Okay, probably close that down. Wait, what's Costco trying to sell me? Did they have any? It's like, do you have a one-track mind? I don't know. I'm just checking to see if Costco have any cheap booze to offer me. Big bottle of Malibu, which I don't really need, want. Everyone wants to sell you air fryers these days. I don't have an air fryer. Everyone's always advertising them. Buy an air fryer. Well, that was a boring bloody Costco catalog. Thought maybe one of the giant bottles of booze for sale, which is always good. So, I'm just thinking, what else is around? So there's Auckland's getting locked down because of their unexplained cases. Oh yeah, big fucking surprise. Trump wasn't convicted by the Senate because it's not a legal proceeding, it's political bullshit. Vaccines are starting to happen. Be interesting to see how the whole vaccine rollout goes, because basically everything Scotty from marketing has said about vaccines has been horseshit. He's made all these announcements. We've made a deal with this, and then the company's gone public and going, no, it's not. There's no deal. And every time he makes some big pronouncement, there's something inaccurate in what he's saying. It's like shock. It's a shocking thing, I know. Scotty from marketing, not trustworthy. Who knows? Wife's savage Valentine's Day gift for husband goes viral. Well, you have to read that, don't you? Clickbait headline. Parcel filled with pictures of all the women's photos he's liked on Instagram. That's weird. She's saying the video is a joke. Yeah, okay. That's not interesting at all. Is Disaronno Amaretto any good? If you like amaretto, it is, yes. So it's like an almond liqueur. It's in the same ballpark as Mac, but not as good as Mac. But I bet it's cheaper than Mac. But yeah, you can make like a good Godfather with Disaronno. And there's quite a lot of amaretto drinks. So I actually have their creamy liqueur in the fridge because I got it. It was a neat novelty. Big Bad Hat Scunty the fuckwit. I just like any politician that self-declares their nickname can get fucked, which is why I refuse to call him ScoMo. I will occasionally call him Scummo, and why I refuse to call Albanese Albo, because he's been basically telling people to call him Albo for years. And it's like, how about get fucked? That's not how nicknames work, and you're not fucking endearing. You're a fucking politician. So, I mean, I remember some guy way back in college, like, he introduced you, hi, I'm Brad. You can call me Boo. And I was like, why the fuck would I do that? Don't fucking tell me the nickname I have to call you for, dickhead. But anyway, this is one of my little bugbears, obviously. Car charges at pedestrians in Melbourne car park. Sounds like fun. Oh my fucking God. This is a real Australian headline. Authorities confirm human remains found inside crocodile believed to be missing fisherman Andrew Hurd. God damn, that's a very Australian headline. Missing man found inside crocodile. Ooh. No, that is not a good way to go. That is unpleasant. So, it's in, okay. Shocking footage recorded by another driver's dash cam at Officeworks car park in Campbellfield shows a black Mazda hurtling towards a man and a woman after one of them tried to open the car's passenger door as it reversed away from them. Mazda driver can be seen accelerating at the pair before crashing into their parked car, causing significant damage to both cars in the process. Oh, 44-year-old man from Coburg expected to be charged with numerous traffic offences. Yeah, you kind of would expect get charged with multiple offences doing something like that. It's so I'm actually watching the dash cam. Oh, reverse. So, oh yeah, okay, that person's fucking crazy. Yep, that's some crazy. I'm not going to show it because it's probably copyrighted. Yeah, so I think what's happened is dipshit one has rear-ended someone and then like not in a serious way in a car park, and then acted like he was going to run off, and someone like, you know, I know, tried to open the passenger door, say, hey, you have to stop, and tell me and he's reversed quite manically and backed into a parked car and then drove at them full speed and really fucking smashed into them. So yeah, he's a bit not good. Oh, okay. I'll put a link to the video. There you go. It's yeah. I just found it on. I was looking at Google News to see if there's any fun stuff to discuss. But that's a link to the news story. You have to watch a 30-second ad to then watch a 25-second video. Yeah. So that was what it is. Oh, that's. I heard rumor there was an earthquake in Japan, triggered a landslide, injured 100 people. 10-year anniversary of the tsunami. Bad memories. Oh, Biden's press aide resigned over abhorrent remark to female journalist. Nice work, dickhead. What did he say? He was a deputy press secretary. Jesus. He got suspended and then he quit. During a virtual swearing in for staff on Inauguration Day, Biden said, if you ever work with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I'll fire you on the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts. He was suspended. This guy was just suspended. Report that he made threats against a female Politico journalist, trying to suppress a story about his relationship, telling her, I will destroy her. Oh. So, yes. Wonder what was abhorrent. Are they saying, I will destroy you as abhorrent? That's a power mad fucking geek saying shit like that. He suffer. Yeah, of course Trump got acquitted, Safa. That was always going to happen. There was never going to be any other outcome because it's not an actual evaluation of what happened. It's just political theatre. Vote was always going to go along party lines. Although, interestingly, the 6 Republicans who voted to convict Trump, that is the most cross-party votes that have ever happened in an impeachment proceeding. Yeah. Raiders, you avoid Campbelltown Kmart. High in the list of places to avoid. It's total mayhem. Suburban shopping centre car parks generally are a fucking nightmare. There's just like all these people on short fuses. Safa, I don't think they can ban Trump from seeking office without an impeachment conviction. So, yeah, who knows? Again, personally, I believe Trump doesn't want to be president again. But he probably does want to act as if he's going to run for president again to milk huge amounts of money from the moronic fucking supporters he has, because that's proven to be a way to get his hands on, you know, like hundreds of millions of dollars. So he's never seemed happy as president. I mean, you know, he loves the adulation, he loves the attention, doesn't love the work. So I think he wants to just be fake president. So who knows? It's just been really pleasant, the degree to which he personally hasn't been in the media. It's so fucking refreshing, honestly. It's just, it's like it's such a low bar for Biden to make you feel better. Like, oh, just don't be an absolute piece of shit. Act within certain, parameters of what's regarded as acceptable behavior, and everything will feel better. And it's like, wow, that's all he has to do, and he just seems so much better. Is a sign of the times, really. Sorry, Toby. That's not something I should laugh at. I'm not laughing. Okay, Toby just told me VD the other day said he was kicked out of his mum's place. That's not funny. He blames me. That's funny. He still obsesses over me. That's funny. That is just friggin' weird. Worry about that, boy, honestly. Oh, yeah, Raiders, okay. Brody joins Campbellfield. Yep. You had to work near there for 12 months. Yeah, there's a couple places around Melbourne, and you say, you're going to go there. It's like, oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. But yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, but yeah, this particular person, geez, that guy around these people, he had that's some fucking issues right there. That's just someone was not holding on. Now, if I was a gambling man, I would be willing to place a bet. You look into this guy, he's going to be a Trump supporter, QAnon, anti-vaxxer, COVID is fake. It's just one of those people who just snapped. You don't do what he did if you're well balanced and have a happy life. And all of that mob who aren't well balanced and don't have a happy life seem to be doing the same shit at the moment, just pooling together and being COVID deniers, anti-vaxxers, and QAnon conspiracy idiots. So, yep, that's my bet right now. If you look into that guy, you will find that stuff, because they're a type. Those people, they're just a type. So, God, I wonder how fucking vaccines going in the US with all the weirdness and all the stupid behavior from people in the US. I just wonder if they're getting anywhere. I mean, by some estimates, probably 20% of the US population has been infected with the coronavirus. I think the official numbers, as in people who've been tested and confirmed positive, is actually only about 10% of the population. The real number's probably double that. And yeah, and then they've got to try and get vaccinations happening, and who friggin' knows what's going to happen in the next 6 months? Who knows? It's weird. Raiders, you did a 7-year stint in the fashion industry, Smith Street, Collingwood. At the height of Smack Street. Oh, goddamn. I just remember when I first moved to Melbourne, bloody, was it Collins Street? No, it was Burke Street. It was Burke Street, a couple blocks down from the mall where there used to be a McDonald's. It was just smackies. It was just drug dealers and drug users just out there on Burke Street. That was wild that was let run for like a couple of years, basically. And when people saying you should, cops should enforce on that, and people just, all that will do is push them, out into the suburbs. At some point, I think the city of Melbourne and probably the state government both went, yeah, you know what? I'm kind of happy with a cosmetic thing, because actually having this strip of drug dealers in the CBD out in the open is a bad look. And like the McDonald's, they never closed down. This one closed down because it was in the middle of this strip of drug dealers, and people wouldn't go to the McDonald's. So, and I think the staff didn't feel safe there either. That was wild. So Toby, VD said soon after getting out of prison, he's going to send me a letter. No, he hasn't sent me one. Unless the post office has stopped sending me notifications. Someone should send me something. I don't know. So I just got to check one more thing. Wait, that's what I'm doing. So yes, yeah. So yeah, that was a weird thing. There's just these heroin dealers in the middle of the city, out in the open. This would have been late 90s, early noughties. Oh yeah, you're gonna send me a bunch of receipts and stuff. I'd like that. I like getting that in the mail. It's just, to me, it's that's like art. That's a commentary on the banality of human existence, which I think is something we can all agree on. I don't know what. Oh, Toby, you'd think he hasn't because he'd obsessively update you on letters if he did. Oh, well. I don't know if it'd get him in the mood, because I probably would read it on a stream if he sent it. I just sometimes when his letters devolved into racism and homophobia, I refuse to platform that, and I wouldn't read that. When he's attacking me, I just think it's fucking hilarious. Like, it's just really, really funny. But yeah, no. If he goes on one of his dumb rants about homophobia and whatnot, no. Oh my God, Raiders! That's exactly what they said. You chasing? Yes. That was the exact thing. It was just basically, and they were like touts. Again, the drug dealers didn't wait for you to come up to them. You'd be walking down the street minding your own business, and they'd come after you. You chasing? I'd fucking ask you if I was. Jesus, back the fuck off, dude. All right, I'm going to drink some water. Now, I don't know if I'm going to drink any alcohol tonight. It's a bit. I do have my clarified cocktail there, but get some water. I think I do need to hydrate. Get that happening. You know what? You can fill the big glass. Oh, you know what I should do? I should actually refill the water reservoir in the fridge. Now I've got my big old glass of water. Evening, Robot Man Greg. Sorry, your name's not Jason. Okay. Oh, right. Yes, Jason. Yes. Got it. Jeez, mate, you're a bit fast for me, honestly. Okay, so I'm just going to get the Brita jug and fill up the reservoir in the fridge so it chills. Hey, Sunbear, by the way. Just going to fill this up. Don't know why I started humming Never Gonna Give You Up then, but I did. And I stick to it. I stick by it. I do not resile. Right, let's top it up a bit. Put that in there. And I'm just going to fill this up. So get some more filtered water to put in the reservoir. Speaking of places in Melbourne you don't really want to live, reservoir. Well, I think their reservoir's trying to go up market. I don't trust it. All right. All right. Ah. Oh my God, Sunday. Okay, we're all like reliving the days of walking down the street and just having someone going, "You chasing?" It's like, dude, fuck, Jesus. It's like going past the Italian restaurants in Lygon Street. The people coming after you with menus. You want some dinner? It's like, fuck off. They're not allowed to do that either. Touting, being a tout. T-O-U-T. That's what that's called. When you're the person out in front of an establishment trying to entice people to come in, you are a tout. And street touting, these restaurants on Lygon Street in Carlton, is illegal, and they still do it. And it's really annoying. So Kirsten Hellion, hello. Oh God, Toby, those are all fun things. VD's gotten more homophobic, more sexist, and more racist. God. Yeah, Toby, tell him if he wants me to actually read the letter, it has to be. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? If he wants me to read the letter, it has to be about me. If he does random bigoted abuse, I'm not platforming that. No way. Stella woke up from a 7-hour nap and having an existential crisis from waking up. Yay for fibromyalgia. Oh my God, we are a bunch, aren't we? We've all got something. My bloody knees and calves today are really giving me a hard time. Yeah, Sunbear, guys at the markets who yell their lungs out. Yeah, fuck that. That's not good. Yeah, there is desserts in there. I got some Golden Gay Times. I forgot. I was going to have one. No, that's okay. No, I'm talking to people, but thank you for getting one out. Kirsten, you've managed to wrench your neck today. Oh, no. That's okay. Toby, yes and no. I think, like the names have changed. I used to call them little Miss Angry and little Mr. Angry. I think they are now of an age. It's young Ms. Angry and young Mr. Angry. Not really the little Angries anymore. Oh no, Kirsten, whiskey and painkillers. Oh dear. Yes, Stella, the angry family. We've all got autism or some sort of chronic illness or combinations. Oh, we're a bunch. We are a bunch. Dearie me. So, yes. But, you got to bond over something. Speaking of trouble, are you in trouble? You're making noodles. That's okay. All right. Water? Okay. Do you want the ice or just water? Just water. I'm just getting lucky here. Lucky for you, I just filled it up. Oops, what did I do there? Filling up the cup. Another point out. This is the sort of cup I force him to drink out of. If you can't read, I don't know if it's showing up or what. It actually says, "My dad rocks." There are a bunch of these plastic drinking cups. I bought them post Father's Day one year because they're really cheap and they're quite functional. So I got all these Father's Day cups I force him to drink out of. Well, man, the fridge is good. I am a fan of the fridge. A, for its size, and B, it's considerably more energy efficient than the ones it replaced. It replaced a little freezer and a fridge. So Although I don't have as much freezer space because I got the little freezer specifically for that, but I still have it if I want it. Toby, I should, if no, see, anytime I've tried to do ASMR, because like you know, this is a stereo microphone and I can make it do different things, it's weirded people out. So I don't do it. Still, what sort of fridge have I got there? Okay, I just went to the good guys, right? This is one like, you know, Chinese no brand ones, Hisense. But it was had a good energy efficiency rating, as big as like fridge on the bottom, freezer on the fridge on the top, freezer on the bottom, and their little water dispenser. And it's not a plumbed one. There's just a reservoir there that you have to remember to fill. He said, looking pointedly at the person who likes to drink lots of water, that you have to remember to fill it occasionally. I did it yesterday. Good man. Good man. So, yeah, no, this is quite good. Yes, that's a Yeti Blue microphone. When I needed a new microphone, I just looked at what was about, and they're not super cheap, but they're not super expensive, and good quality. Good for podcasts, like it'd be good for interviews because you can make it stereo. So because the moment I've got it to just get me here, if you toy with the things, it can be all around. So I can go and like be stereo and stuff. But last time I did that, it weirded people out. So I won't do that. Yes, Abigail, achievement unlocked, passive aggressive parenting. Yep. As opposed to my usual aggressive parenting. So, yeah. Oops, I just realized something there. Alrighty. So, yeah. Oh, Sally, you had a Hisense upright freezer. It's good. Regret selling it. But you only had a trailer to move across the country. Yeah. Yes, Toby, this is really good for ASMR because with a couple different settings, and a lot of the ASMR is move stuff between ear things. And even, you know, it's not even necessarily doing the voice moving between ears, but you could be whispering on one side and be making little noises on the other side. Mrs. Angry got me to test an app on the phone, and I still use it occasionally. It's called Sleep Restore, and it's audio things. It works best if you put your earbuds, headphones on, and there's various recorded things that go for about 25 minutes, stress release or help you sleep. And besides, you know, relaxing music, some of them have someone saying stuff about relaxing and whatnot. And there's this thing called bilateral stimulation, which is fascinating. Look, I'll play it for you. So you can hear it's just that noise, right? Stop it. But if you play it through headphones, each one is in a different ear, and there's a little echoey thing that you get. And there's a particular sort of therapy that says that helps with relaxation. So sometimes, because again, the joys of working from home, if like I feel like, oh man, I didn't get enough sleep last night and I'm a bit woozy, like mid-afternoon, I go and lie down and have a half-hour nap. So I put a timer on so I don't oversleep. But sometimes I put those on too, just lie down and put the little earbuds in and just have the relaxation thing going. So even if I don't actually go to sleep, there's this relaxation thing going on. So yeah, Abigail, you had 2 Hisense TVs. Don't recommend them. Both failed exactly the same way. Yep, that's not good. I think I've got a Sony TV. And Stella, some manufacturers are good, some are shit. Yes, LG TVs are generally good. The reason I've got a Sony is because I usually think Sonys are overpriced, but I think it was like an end of model one, and there was a whole new model, and bigger, brighter, and I go, no, that one's fine. I'm having that one. It's cheaper than all the others, and so you get the big ass TV. No, again, not one of the huge ones. Like there are some. I think they're literally 4 times bigger than the ones I've got. Some of them are just absurdly big now, and it's not it's high def. I don't think it's 4K. I could be wrong. I don't know. So, Kirsten, are you working from home in Melbourne because of everything? Yeah, Stella, Sony, you'd expect to be good TVs. They've got the reputation to protect. And then, yeah, it's this thing. I don't even remember how long ago I bought it. A while ago. Every time I sort of look at ones in shops and go, and you sort of point out to Mrs. Angry, go, oh my God, look how big that one is. And she's like, do not ever bring a TV that big into the lounge room. It would freak me. Like, one that would just absolutely dominate a room. She's like, don't get a TV like that. That's bad. Holy shit, that's an interesting one, Raiders. Samsung washing machines were literally destroying people's homes not that long ago. They all have shit products at some point. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Stella, you bought a Kogan TV recently for what it paid for it, but its operating system's slow as fuck. See, I won't buy a Kogan just because the guy, Kogan, who runs it, is a fucking piece of shit. And I do not want to endorse a piece of shit. I say that. I've got fucking Foxtel. I'm complaining about Foxtel at the moment. And I should take a good hard look at myself. Why am I giving money to Rupert fucking Murdoch? But anyway. Wowzers. Toby found a YouTube review for a 12K camera. Yep. Well, they just want to keep coming up with stuff to make you buy more money because it's just like they keep coming up with different TVs to convince you to buy more. Like, I was thinking like, got to the stage where you could buy these big ass TVs for $1,000 instead of $10,000, which is what they cost when they first came out. I thought, okay, that's how much TVs cost. And then suddenly there was ones on the market that were $4,000 and $5,000 because they were fucking bigger and 4K and God knows what else on them. Yeah. What's that, Raiders? The washing machines were unstable and would walk through walls. Oh my God, that's fucking weird. Oh no, Kirsten, you got a 65-inch TV. Way too big. Gonna be a nightmare to find a place to put it. Told husband it was too big. Didn't listen. Boys and their toys, eh? Abigail, it is in fact incredibly hard to buy anything without supporting someone who's a piece of shit because there's only like 5 companies in the world. All the different brands are an illusion because they're owned by the same 5 companies. Stella, absolutely, I won't shop at Harvey Norman because Jerry Harvey is a fucking piece of shit. He's worse than Kogan. He's absolutely worse than Kogan. I forget what it was that pissed me off about him. Let's see if I can find it with some good Kogan controversy. Yes, Kogan controversy. What comes up for that? Kogan in court for a false misleading discount. Bad boy Kogan called to ACCC's office. Ruslan Kogan asked to apologize after tweeting transphobic slurs. Yeah, he's just basically made really obnoxious public statements. Ooh, Megalich bought a wedge pillow from Kogan. Safa, does today feel like Monday? No, today felt like Sunday. It was half of it because I didn't get out of bed till after 11. So by the time I got my shit together, I had to get some stuff from the supermarket. And the supermarket was crowded, and people had big piles of shopping in their trolleys because they've been fuckwits. And there's signs everywhere. There's limits on this. It's like, what is it? Chicken breast and a flour and pasta and milk. Why would people bulk buy milk? It's just going to go off. It's fucking dumb. And I didn't even look at toilet paper. That was probably all gone. And it's just like, fucking people shit me with just doing this fucking panic buying again and again. It's like, we established you don't have to do this. The supply chain's not under threat. Don't be a fuckwit. And yet people insist on being fuckwits. So if you reckon Aldi milk goes off before its end date. I don't shop at Aldi. There's not an Aldi near me. I don't know. I just find, because Aldi only ever have 1 or 2 registers open, so there's always a line. I always find it really fucking annoying. So I don't shop at Aldi, basically. So I went to the Coles and got. Yeah, I know. So Dick Smith only exists as an online brand, Raiders, and it's owned by Kogan. Absolutely. It's just people being dickheads, and so it took longer than usual because I realized we didn't have any bread and needed to get some milk, and I just got some foods because the offspring are here and we need foods in the house. I realized there was not that much here. And I was hoping it would die down, and I guess it had a bit. So I did that, and then got some lunch from a place near the supermarket. So by the time I got home with lunch, it was fucking 3 p.m., which is absurdly late for lunch. So I haven't actually had any dinner. I had a snack because I had lunch so fucking late in the day. And there's like the lad just came in, and he's just going to have some noodles. I asked him if he wanted me to get anything out for dinner, because we had such a late lunch. He went, I'll just get some noodles. And I was like, yep. Oh, no, Kirsten, you actually ran out of toilet paper. No, bad timing. Yeah, it was hard to buy because people are fuckwits. People are fuckwits. I can write a whole song about that, but that's the only lyric. People are fuckwits. So if you reckon Woolies is most expensive, I've honestly never done much of a comparison because I only buy stuff that's on special. I'm just like, that's a product of my upbringing, I think, and like never having a lot of money. And regular prices don't mean that much to me because I only buy stuff that's on special. So I'm such a tight ass with not wanting to pay for things. Abigail, you need spare TP. I think you're more than 5 kilometers away from Kirsten at the moment. So when you were trying to get some help to your pharmacy trip, I just immediately went, too far away. Like on a normal weekend. This is fun. See, while, you were saying, was there anyone who lived near you? I'd probably go over and help, just to be a pal, but also that would give me an excuse to go to the Bitters Lab and spend money. That would be my excuse to cross town and do that. But I can't do it because we've got that 5 kilometer limit at the moment. Oh, nice. That's okay, Kirsten. You went to a small IGA, found an 8-pack. Nice. So you went into Woolies when they announced the Perth lockdown. Didn't buy TP because I'm going to be a wanker. Then I went to refill the Dunny Roll holder and you were nearly gone. Oh, no. No. So for 28 days COVID-free in New South Wales. Well, we were at 3 months before this. But again, it's absolutely surreal that we are like, and I think it's right that we react fairly strongly to individual cases and contain things, but we're like, oh no, 3 cases. Oh, no, a dozen cases. That's scary. A dozen. That's a lot. And the US is getting 3 to 5,000 deaths a day. And just incalculable number of new cases. Where's the Johns Hopkins map? That's a fun map. Shows the world. I was obsessively looking at this in the early days. So 108 million confirmed global cases, 27.5 million of those in the US. So the US continues to have a quarter of the world's cases, 2.4 million deaths globally. The US is closing in on 500,000 deaths. So, yeah, the US has 25% of the world's cases and 20% of the world's deaths. Holy shit. God damn. This is just like morbid obsession at this point. What are they announcing? Wait, what is this graph actually saying? 1 to 21. Oh, that's cases. 300,000 cases in a day was the peak. And they're currently saying 100,000 cases a day. That was a big peak, 300,000 cases in a day. And that was like New Year's. So it's reduced, it's 2/3 lower than it was a month and a half ago. Jesus. What a fucking shit show, honestly. It's ridiculous. Oh, well. Yes, chanting USA. Okay. So if you want us to choose vaccine, look, honestly, morally, we probably shouldn't have a vaccine here. There are countries in the world that are desperate for a vaccine and probably won't get it for years. And us getting it when we've got virtually no transmission is fucking greedy. Still going to get a vaccine when it's here. I'm just saying, globally, the Western nations are being very greedy as per usual. Shannon, hello. Oh, Stella, when you read out of the boutiques, you had to buy some weird bamboo ones. Usual quilt was all gone. Yes, Toby, they're stuck doing the supersize thing in the States. And weirdly, they chose to supersize their COVID cases and deaths. Not sure why they wanted to do that, but they did. It's the world we live in, I guess. I don't know what's gonna happen there in the coming months. Yeah, it's still so weird to me that like a year down the track, we don't know what's going to happen. We can, we are in a better position to have a better educated guess now. Like, but then you hear people saying like, the world's not going to be vaccinated for 6 years because a lot of the developing nations are going to get stiffed on that. And will it mutate, or will something completely fucking new come along and fuck us up again? And and then we have the thing that actually truly, truly, truly scares medical people, antibiotic resistant infections. A lot of medical people around the world, you ask them, what's the scariest thing that could happen? And they go large scale antibiotic resistance from infections. because we're fucked. If that happens, we're fucked. Like they can't do surgery if that's a problem. So essentially, death rates would fucking skyrocket. It'd be like the 17th century. Yeah. Yeah, Shannon, when I say mutated, I mean into something completely different for which vaccines are completely ineffective. That hasn't happened yet. Yes, it has changed a bit, but we don't yet have evidence that it's reduced the efficacy of vaccines. It might have happened. I mean, it mutates into something completely different because, yeah. Pardon Trump, so disappointed. Yeah, it was, yeah, technically it's acquitted, Stella, because the Senate had him on trial and then said, and now we'll vote along party lines. It was always going to happen. That whole, I was discussing this with Mrs. Angry, actually, and realized what it was is the impeachment process is based on some concept of basic decency. It's always been voted along party lines with very minor variations every time it's happened. But there used to be a thing of sort of basic decency that, you know, people didn't want to be impeached and it was a bad thing. And Trump clearly doesn't give a shit. Actually, I think he doesn't like it, but it has no actual impact. You know, and the Republicans absolutely cheapened it and made it meaningless when they impeached Bill Clinton. It was ridiculous. Oh, Celtic Kick's going. Bye-bye, Celtic King, but you're hanging, Toby. Nice. Raiders, that's exactly the problem. GPs handing out antibiotics like lollies has caused the problem. Stella, I think you are right. The South African government suspended distribution of the AstraZeneca vaccine because they think it's much less effective against that strain. I'm not sure that that's been validated by anyone else, but it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign that they've gone, hey, look, it just stopped working. But also, I don't think they have enough data yet to know that either. I could be wrong because obviously I'm completely on the outside. But yes, that is actually a good point that the South African government were suspending distribution of the AstraZeneca vaccine because they said it wasn't effective. So who knows? And that's the thing. I'm a bit better with it now, but sort of like in the first phase, the not knowing was doing my fucking head in. Like, you know, like Mrs. Angry made sure she had her will up to date. And just like realizing, well, you know, shit happens and this just introduced a whole new risk. Mind you, it reduced a whole bunch of other risks. It's weird. The world is weird. There's like nothing happens in isolation. It's all ripples in a pond. Something happens and it will affect other things. Maybe dominoes is a better image. It's like as one thing happens and it affects another thing, and that affects another thing, and that affects another thing. The comparative effect might diminish, but it also might increase. The fucking stove is doing its buzzing thing. God damn it. It's really loud too. Kirsten, your dad got antibiotic-resistant golden staph, which contributed to his death 20 years ago. Yes. And there are, golden staph particularly is a bad one, there are currently antibiotic-resistant infections. But medical people are worried about it getting so out of control. Like you couldn't do surgery because you cut people open. Infection is going to get in. It'll be the sort of death rate you saw from surgery in the early 20th century when they were still experimenting. You can't hear it. You're lucky. I can. It's really loud. It's really fucking annoying. I just have to go over here and hope my knees don't give out. And shut up. While I'm up, I'm going to top up the raw water reservoir again because I'm planning ahead. So I'm just going to do this. What's this? What's this? Is that Nightmare Before Christmas song? Pop it into my head. Song lyrics, they just get stuck in your head, don't they? All right, I'll just put this over here. Worry about it later. Oh, good Lord. Go back to work tomorrow. I think my boss is on leave tomorrow. I think. I'm not sure. I'll find out tomorrow. So Raiders had a small puncture from a branch recently. GP prescribed antibiotics. Script went in the bin. Yeah. Caution is a good idea. Safa needs a new fridge. Yeah. My old one was starting to pack it in, and it had a really and it didn't have enough room. And the little freezer had a way worse energy economy rating. And so there's a big part of I go, okay, so I've got to lash out this much on a fridge. But if I save this much a month on electricity, it's basically paid for itself in 2 years in electricity savings. So that's my strategy anyway. So the start of COVID was peaceful for you because you couldn't work at the time. Fair enough. You'd hit rock bottom. Oh, that's a bit sad. Gave a COVID supplement to new staff. Yeah. And you could survive. So many people were suddenly like, oh, I can actually live now. The government's been doing this cruel, punishing, you can't live regime. And then suddenly you could. Again, the way people on either unemployment or disability benefits are scapegoated and treated like shit is just fucking criminal. Makes me sick. I have not needed like unemployment support for a very long time. But I have this crazy thing where everything's not about me, and I actually have concern for other people. It's just like, fucking hell. You actually just see shit, and it's just getting worse. Like this thing of trying to broaden the distribution of the cashless welfare card, and it's just there's so much wrong with it. Can be just summarized as this is cruel, this is nasty. Stella, your stress levels as a manager now way higher than start of COVID. I can understand that. I'm not a manager. Oh, not that my work life is without stress, people saying and doing stupid shit and me having to deal with it. But yeah, it's the world we live in. Humans, a bunch of bastards, the lot of them. That's what I say. Sorry, again, I was just scrolling through like Google News headlines, and I don't know why this makes me want to laugh, but just because it says Alabama COVID-19 vaccine update, just mentioning, Granny's got it, and cousin Earl's got it, and which is incredibly unfair to Alabama, but that's just the stereotype I have in my head. Oh, yes, Kirsten, I bet. The day you could tell Centrelink to get stuffed was a wonderful day. And yeah, oh God, speaking of Centrelink, that evil fucking shit the Libs did, and I think Labor actually put it in place, and the Libs just turbocharged it, what we came to know as robo-debt, the criminally wrong and abusive thing they did, saying to people like, oh, you owe us X hundred or X $1,000 and we're going to fuck you up if you don't pay it back. And just intrinsically in and of itself was evil, cruel, and unnecessary. But it was also wrong. It was found out that all the calculations they were doing were wrong. And people kept telling them, you're wrong. And they kept trying to fuck people up, and they caused God knows how many suicides. Toby, we might have high IQs, but we're just dumb primates. A lot of people don't have a high IQ either, mate. Not that IQ intrinsically means anything, but I get where you're going with that. Yes, we are just talking monkeys. Monkeys with anxiety. That's what we are. Yes, Kirsten, the lower end of town don't hoard wealth. It goes straight back into the economy. Giving people who are less well off some income boosts the economy far more than tax cuts to rich motherfuckers who just hoard it and move it offshore. But this is the fucking world we live in. Labour sucks shit, and the Liberals are going to win the next. So I'm not doing. There is no fucking way I'm like doing an election night live stream where I track the results, because it's just going to be fucking depressing, because the Liberals are going to win because Labour is just fucking shit. They're just not inspiring people to vote for them. It's weird when I say that. I get Labour brokens saying, like, it's as if I'm saying vote for the Liberal Party. Like, no, nobody vote for the LNP. Please, they fucking suck. I mean, vote in a way that makes, Labour form government. But I'm just talking about the Labour brokens are so good at rejecting reality. So when, no, Labour should win because they're better marginally. And no, I think they're actually much better. I think if they were in, their policies would be much better. But they're just stuck in this mindset of people have to vote for Labour because it's like, that doesn't work, you fucking morons. But they have to. But it doesn't work saying that and seeing that sort of, just no, you can't fucking be like that because people reject you. But they have to vote. Shut the fuck up. Stella, you never wanted to be a manager. Everyone keeps telling you you're good at it, but fuck, people suck. You're a unionist, don't want to sack people. But so many people are useless cunts. Yep, they are. People are fucking useless. Yes. See, Greg, I normally watch the election. I normally do live streams on the elections, but this one's just going to be fucking depressing. I have not seen the vaguest sign that Labour are going to do anything. Oh, actually, no, I'll take that back. I've seen the vaguest sign that they're like highlighting the LNP industrial relations approach is vicious as fuck. It's just like vicious as fuck. And is going to hurt people real bad. And that they need to run with that. They need to take that on and go, no, the Liberal Party is going to fuck you up big time. And that might work. I don't know. Oh, God, Stella. Poor Friendly Geordie's fans think Albo has a chance of winning. That's because Friendly Geordie, okay, and I don't know if he believes everything he says, but he's just sort of stay on mission, don't falter. And I'm like, yeah, reality's got to seep in at some point. Labour are really fucking shit and aren't going to win. And I don't mean in terms of policy. I just mean in terms of being a political party that communicates to the public why they should be voted for. And people who disappear up their own asses and just say they've got to just because. And it's like, that is not how the fucking world works. That simply is not how the fucking world works. You've got to convince people. Nintendo Lunchbox, happy V-Day in Las Vegas. Yes, Raiders. Labour are completely ineffectual opposition, and they've never done anything to make people think they could be the leaders. So, Kirsten, you're about to become a manager for the first time. You're anxious about it. You'll be great. And have a go. You were naturally good at project management, and it sucks because people are the worst. See, I consciously avoided going into project management in my IT world where I'm a business analyst. It's like a natural progression. People see you go, oh, you be a business analyst for a while, and then you go and be a project manager because you earn more. And yeah, I could earn, I think it's often like 20, 25% more as a project manager. but people just fucking suck. I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do budgets and timelines and other imaginary shit, because it is all imaginary. I just want to, hey, look, okay, there's a thing. There's a problem. Hey, I'm a problem guy. I'm going to work with you. We're going to come up with a solution to the problem. And that's a thing I enjoy doing. Fucking doing budgets and timelines and ridiculous shit. No. Yeah, Stella, it looks like Albanese is scared of Plivers because in his cabinet reshuffle, he moved her into a very not high profile position. I think he obviously sees her as a threat. And he is her most obvious threat. Sorry, she is his most obvious threat. I have way more respect for her than Albanese. Ooh, Stella, you're hoping to learn to be a resource geologist. Contract yourself out working from home. Nice. Abigail, you remember purposely downgrading from IT admin, senior programmer, project management, back to being a programmer. Yeah, stress out the window. Stress goes out the window. I've just seen it too much, and it's just like, no, I just don't want that. I just don't want that. And I might have settled into my niche in the last 2 years doing cybersecurity because everyone's freaking out about that. And now I have considerable experience with analysis and implementation and process stuff for improving cybersecurity. That will probably be very good for getting jobs. And I have no idea when I'll be moving on from the current one. Currently contracted till the end of June. Who knows what happens after that? The life of a contractor. It's always up in the air. Who knows? Although this one, that's going to have been 18 months at that point, which is long. I've only had one contract longer than that. I had one contract that went for about 2 years. So we'll see what happens at the 18-month point. I mean, everyone likes what we're doing. So, who knows? So we shall see. Yeah, it's been real. This last year, working from home, because I'm literally coming up on a year of working from home. I think March is when I started working from home. And just like the time doesn't, is everyone still doing this? To me, the time doesn't mean anything. Like I can say, oh yeah, I'm coming up on a year of working from home. It's like, it doesn't actually mean anything. It's just like a thing that's been happening. And it's very weird to me. But yeah, so Stella, they promised you to be trained in resource geology, but currently senior project geo, database admin, expression manager, chief cook, and bottle washer. Yeah, see, that's the trouble. You're being too good at it, and so they're swamping you with shit because the rest of them are fucking incompetent. Music David, I remember your last day working in the office was March, Friday the 13th. So mine was probably sooner than that because my team bailed on the office about 2 weeks before everyone else, like before everyone did. Because we were just looking at it and it was like, oh, the outbreak's happening. Oh, maybe you should think about working from home. And my whole team, there was like 6 of us at that point. It's now 4 of us. Just went work from home. Yeah. Does anyone have a problem with working from home? No, let's do it. And 2 weeks later, everyone was doing it because it was a bit tenuous. Like even like the boss's boss seemed a bit iffy about us doing it. It's like 2 weeks later, everyone was doing it. So yeah. Yeah, it's just been a fucking year. Stella, waking up to the fact competency was your first mistake. Yeah, it can be a curse. It's kind of like because the stuff I do, I'm really good at it, and conceptually, there's stuff I find comparatively easy to do. It's not, I have to engage my brain quite seriously. But I find it comparatively easy to do. And other people are like, wow, okay, Like one of the things I had to do process re-engineering, and this guy I'd work with saying like it isn't possible to document everything that needs to be done in this in like a process map. And I went, well, it probably is. And he's going, no, it's not possible. I went, okay. And I never contradicted him. I just kept asking questions. What would happen here? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but yeah, that won't work as that. Okay, cool, cool. And I just kept working away. Never once contradicted him, even though I wanted to say, shut the fuck up, just because you're too useless to do it doesn't mean I can't do it. And I never contradicted him. And then it got to the stage where I've done it. And he's gone, oh. And then he pushed me questioning. And I said, and I always pushed it back to him. Well, like when he was trying to sort of find something that was wrong, I'd push it back to him and go, oh no, this is what you said. You know, we did it. And in light of what you said, I've just designed, like I never once said, I'm a genius who worked all this out. It always went back to, oh no, this is what you said. Remember, you wanted me to blah, 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 blah. And so it was always like everything, it works because it's your idea. As much as the temptation was, you're a dick and you said it wouldn't work, and ha ha ha, I proved you wrong. Fuck you. There was a temptation to do that, but that was never really going to be very productive. So it was always, this is working because you told me what to do. Okay. This is working because you provided that knowledge. You provided this. And he eventually agreed that it was working. And everyone was like, the fuck did you do that? And I was like, oh, he's rude as fuck. And so I just had to not react to him being rude as fuck. And everyone went, yeah, he's rude as fuck and I can't work with him. And he's like, oh, he's rude as fuck and I ignore him. So, yeah. What's your one, Kirsten? Do your job. In fact, you like to keep it back that it can do stuff, refuse to do filing and admin jobs. Oh, that's deadly. I love that. If anyone asks you to do filing and admin, you just stare them down with, is it because I'm female? I think, no. Oh, that's gold. That is a great tactic. Make him nervous. Make him feel guilty. Is an excellent tactic. Yeah, Sunbear. It's the fucking Socratic method. And for those who are unaware, and I'll probably get some important details of this wrong, the Socratic method of argument is not to tell someone they're wrong, like when they are wrong. Just say, oh, I see. Can you explain that further for me? And then they go blah, 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 blah. And you go, and can you explain that further for? And basically you do one of two things. You either just really clearly expose they're full of shit, because when you've asked them to, like, they just make an assertion and say, okay, that's brilliant. Help me understand how that works. And they get to a point where it doesn't. And that also then gives you the opportunity to go in. So the end point is here. And so we could do blah, 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 and that would get what you're, it's usually a mistake to just tell someone, you're full of shit. That's not going to happen. You just lead them on. Sure, Kirsten, you say you can explain it to you if you're unclear. People get their backs up a bit with that. Oh, yeah, Stella, upward management. Learn to make your manager think your changes were his idea. Yeah, that helps. That helps a lot. And I'm not particularly good at upward management. I've seen some people who are amazing at it. But you know, you learn. You learn various things. So yeah, it's really weird. And oh God, we had some dramas in the last week just with people like clashing. And I've been in these 1 hour, and they're online meetings, obviously, people talking. And I basically, even though it's like, you know, I can see a solution. I can see a solution, but people are just talking over one another. And I'd make 1 or 2 attempts and go, there's a solution if we do. And then people are blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. Fuck you. And then I just write it up later and say, here's the solution. Because everyone's just talking over each other. And it's a bit aggravating. Kirsten, you hate that, can't do it. I am not good at it. Yeah. So you also learned on Friday, managing director was desperate to sign you on permanently before Christmas. Should ask for more money. Dang. Dang. Ah, well, it's stellar. It is starting to sound like you should be real fucking clear about what you want, and just say like, "Hey, yeah, look, this is all well and good. Da, 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 da. This needs to happen. I need this because you clearly, you know, the, the wellspring of competence that they need. It feels like they really know that too, from what you're saying. So I think it behooves you to be incredibly clear and just say, this needs to happen. I want to do this, and we need this, and leave them in no doubt as to what is required of them. So sometimes you just got to lay it out. So, yes, I mean, it's still early. Like I said, my contract runs till the end of June. I have no idea if they're going to want to either extend the contract or offer a permanent position. I'd be open to it. Fucking public service. See, I'm not broke. I'm not rich, but I'm not broke. So if I could actually get something that seemed suitable long term in public service, it might be the time as I get to my autumn years to take it a bit easy and have a bit of stability. Could be an opportunity, but yeah, it reminds me way back when I worked at an insurance company. So, sorry, Abigail, saw that. There's a point where you're so good at your job, you could physically look bored and uninterested in meeting to the point of playing on my phone and get away with it and then exceed expectations. That's what happens when you're the center of competence. Yeah. Years ago, and Jesus, I mean like 25 years ago, I was working at an insurance company, and this was like, it was kind of pre-internet. The internet obviously existed, but it wasn't in workplaces. And a lot of stuff was still on paper. We had email, internal email systems and whatnot, but nothing was very flash. And the company newsletter would be these big printed, we had this big sort of probably A3 size printed thing. Company newsletter. I don't know if it's once a quarter or whatever. And there'd always be long service things. And when we'd look at it, at people who were, marking their 20 years working for the company, the line was always, "My God, you get less than that for murder." And the two real eye openers was someone who had spent their entire, like they were approaching retirement. They were 65, 67, something like that. And although this company had changed, there'd been mergers, acquisitions, and whatnot, so it had changed names a couple of times. This guy had worked for this company from the age of 16. Like, he worked for the company for 50 fucking years. And I could not wrap my head around that. The other fun one was someone who was making a milestone. It was like, oh, their 15th anniversary. And then you look, and they're 32. And it's like, holy shit, you went straight from school to here and you've been here for 15 years. Fucking hell. Whatever. Milk my man tits. Hey, no more masks in Perth. Nice. I think your premier overreacted. There was that one fucking case. I don't think our premier's overreacting, because the little cluster out of this quarantine outbreak is growing. Hopefully is not growing anymore, and it's going to be under control. And even though we had some more exposure sites, I really hope it's under control and we back to normal after 5 days. I don't think our premier overreacted. I think the WA premier overreacted. That over one case, to do a hard lockdown over one case is like, yeah, you might be losing it there a bit, buddy. I don't know. I'm not hugely surprised they've locked down Auckland, because there was like no community COVID whatsoever in New Zealand for months. And then suddenly this family of 3 all test positive, and they don't know where they get it from. And it's like, what the fuck? We need to fucking put a lid on this until we work out what's happening. Ding! What the fuck is AIDSy calling me at 9:30? All right. AIDSy wants to say hello. I'll send him a link. Don't know if he knows what the time is, but we shall see. I'll just tell him. Just in time to say good night. Okay. So we may or may not see AIDSy, even though he says he wants to join. He's only got 25 minutes, and sometimes takes longer than that. And that's a good point. The Premier... Sorry, who... Are you talking about Victoria there, Annette, saying you shouldn't have locked down rural areas? Stella, you'll never get long service leave. You'll open a vein working for one company for 10 years. Yeah, I can't conceive of it myself. Oh, Musical Aviator, your local Woolies was an exposure site. Dang. Because you have friends who are getting long service. Freaks. Okay, but they explained that, Annette. I get what you're saying, but that was one of the big questions. Why are you locking down the whole state when there's only some metro cases? And it was pretty straightforward. This is only meant to be for that really short time. And that's not really enough time to set up the old ring of steel to stop people from the metro area from going out to country areas. And it is basically, in purely practical terms, easier to just go entire state on lockdown, so movement is controlled, and that will make sure that there's very little chance of cases getting out into rural areas. It was a question of practicality, but it's an absolutely valid question. Good call, Toby. At this point, Celtic King would profess his love for AIDSy. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Safa, that was the whole thing about not letting metro people go out to rural areas, but everyone's got that 5K limit, except, it's somewhat relaxed in country areas. If you're more than 5K from a supermarket, you can, of course, go. No, Ned, he said that in the presser. So, but yeah, it's an absolutely valid question. Why would you have a uniform lockdown when there are no cases in rural areas? And it's just functionally easier. If we had varying restrictions, we have to have an enforcement thing. And because it's only for 5 days, by the time we actually set up the ring of steel, it would be time to bring it down again. So just in terms of logistics, it makes things easier to just say, like, hey, no one travel more than 5 kilometers. Yes. Well, I'm not sure that, 10-kilometer queue you saw going north on Friday. I'm not sure if that was people trying to get to New South Wales before there was any closures or restrictions, or just people who decided, like, they had holiday homes somewhere north they were going to. Still, your dad's more than 5K from Bunnings. He's gutted. Yeah, you can't really justify Bunnings as a necessary trip. But they deliver as well, and they're actually pretty good at it. In lockdown, we had a couple deliveries from Bunnings. But yeah, half the thing of Bunnings is the fun of going to Bunnings, because you might have one thing in mind, but then you look around and go, "Ooh, I'll have one of those too. Well, look what's on special here. That looks great. I'm getting that." That's the fun of going to Bunnings. But yes, I was also more than 5K from Bunnings in lockdown. I was more than 5K from Costco, which is a bit fucking annoying. Yeah. It's a bit rough. Safi, you can travel anywhere in New South Wales. Yeah, I mean, I just like this being overly cautious at the moment. Just do a big old shutdown, contain things, then we can go back to normal. Abigail, you've never gone to Bunnings and walked out with just the thing you were looking for. Yeah, that's not how it works at Bunnings. There's just too much stuff that you go, ooh, I could get that. I could definitely get that. And I'm a bit like that at Costco. I never know what I'm going to end up with when I go in Costco. There's certain things like, okay, I know the basic things I want to get. Da, da, da. Oh, let's have a look around. Ooh, that thing on that shelf. I want one of those. Yeah. God damn, Stella, 60K from Bunnings, and they don't deliver that far. Still can't tell Dad to harden up because you're free. God damn. Wow. Yes, I remember that, Kirsten. You were going to go back to Sydney and then come back to Melbourne again next weekend, and yeah, but then the directive from New South Wales was if you come back from Victoria, stay home. So might as well stay with husband for the week. Yes. Uh, Toby, I don't know. I haven't had a delivery for a little while. Just had an Australian Post delivery be a shithead a couple times in a row. I know you're like that with savers. Fair enough. My most recent delivery is the belt I'm wearing now. Is a handmade Australian belt, and it's tough as fuck. Like it's really thick, and they sold me like there was because I'd bought a clothing thing on Facebook, so I got all these ads, and there's one for these 100% leather belts, handmade after you order them. And the thing was like 10-year guarantee. And I'm like, that's pretty good. And, it was like $120. And it's going like, okay, that seems a bit expensive. And they said at the store, yeah, why do those ones you buy that seem cheap that say they're 100% leather, why do they fall apart? And it's going, because it's not made from a piece of leather, it's made from offcuts. And there's a whole process of pulping them and pressing them into a shape, but it's got very little integrity. And even though it's 100% leather, it falls apart. Whereas this belt, these guys' belts are made from proper leather, and they hand bolt it, and it's pretty cool. And with a 10, like I said, a 10-year guarantee for a belt, and it's going to take a while to work in. It's not that it's stiff, but it's just really heavy. It's very effective. Anyway, it's good. Raiders is an online thing. I've forgotten what it's called. Yes, that's what this website said, Abigail. The label genuine leather is a marketing term, and it's the worst of the leather. That's what these guys said. They said it's just shit, and that's why it falls apart. I was wondering what you're doing because your boss has given you focus work to do this week. Boss is cool. Nice. Good. Sunday, work at Bunnings, laugh at people's gardens on the way to work, see all their Bunnings products. Yep. Bunnings have got into people's heads. I do know that saying, Stella, don't go to the supermarket when you're hungry. So you don't buy things you don't need. It doesn't work for Bunnings. No. No, you go to buy Bunnings to buy work shit and come out with 10 things for you. That makes sense. That's a good question, Annette. What's focus work? Silumi, hey! Nice to see you. Dropping in before bedtime. Coming up on bedtime. Aidsy was threatening to join as well, like actually come on camera. We shall see if he manages to make it before 10. He'd been out and about, apparently, and wanted to come in and say hello. Now he's gotten home. Raiders, you're in the belt game for 10 years. You reckon Australian genuine leather is now tanned in Thailand? I don't know about. Oh, look. Okay, now I'm going to get, because the box is out. I forgot what it's called, but the box is just out here. Oh, my knees. Oh, my knees. I'm dying. a one-person shop, apparently. All right. I'm going to give Yon Aaron a shout-out. It's called Anvil Hide. They put a little thank you postcard in. Little handwritten note from Aaron, which you probably can't see. It's a thanks, Andrew, from Aaron. Aaron Welsh, sole craftsman and owner, Anvil Hide Leatherworks. Every item crafted by hand by one craftsman, ensuring the utmost. Oh no, he said, okay, this is a bad one. I don't know if this is one you pick up on, Abigail. Instead of saying utmost with a T, which is the correct way, it says upmost. UP, which I have actually seen a lot of people use. To help us continue our journey of creating quality leather goods would mean a lot if you could please give us a positive review on our website under the description of Treasure. I should do that because it's good. It's kind of, reckon, the instant you get this belt, you know, like, man, this is it's like, whoa, this is just like heavy. This is like serious quality. So, ladies, yeah, rawhides are sent offshore for tanning because it's cheaper. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Tanning is also quite dangerous, and it's a thing we do is offshore dangerous stuff because we don't care what happens to people. Wonder Anvil Hide. Anvil Hide Leatherworks. Seven-year belt guarantee. Nice. See, here it goes. Care using leather from Australia and the world's best tanneries. So, yes, that falls exactly in line with what you were saying, Raiders. And speaking of tanned leather, it's
Hello to you. I thought I'd pop in for just a few seconds and say, fuck. And I'm done. I'm spent.
All right.
Why are you tanning leather now? I can tan leather.
Just saying the most recent treat I got for myself was a handmade Australian leather belt that one person makes. And it was like $120. So that's like, you can get 4 big W belts for that, but they fall apart really quickly. And this one's got like a 7-year guarantee. Yeah.
Well, I got myself a $5 belt and it's starting to fall apart already. It's a week old.
Yeah. But they say on the website, the reason that happens is, and as Abigail was pointing, genuine leather is actually a marketing term. What that means is a bunch of offcuts that they pulp and press into shape. So it looks like a whole belt, and then it just falls apart under stress. Whereas this is this big fucking heavy bit of fucking leather. Like, I'm just saying, if you were into the spanking, this is a belt that would serve you well.
They get
not why I have it.
And they make it into a spiral, and they go whack like that, and you go, ooh, that's some leather right there.
Yeah.
Or is that
this
parchment?
Is very serious leather. So
no, they make leather belts out of cow.
Yeah.
It's the toughest leather there is. They also make Rolls-Royce street seats out of cow.
That makes sense.
Unless there's bits of the leather that is into your intimate parts, like your back, small of your back, and your neck, and your little bits of the front of your armrests, and that is kid leather.
So that's kids they kidnap, and
usually blacks.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, look, Stella, I have to admit, that was a funny thing. I thought, like, this belt, as soon as you I think I will have to leave them a good review, because it's like, man, like, you get it out and you just go, like, pick it up out of the thing and it's heavy and you go, man, this is a fucking serious belt. You just holding it. It's going to take a while to wear in. Like, it's not uncomfortable, but it's like, I think, like, after a year, it's going to have become a bit more supple. and whatnot, and it's going to last for 7 years. But it's just like trippy as fuck. Because, like you say, you buy a cheap one and it literally falls apart as you use it. And I have to. It was the thought that came in. It was like, man, if you
I
redo
had
the
to
spankings,
I had to buy my $5 belt because my normal belt just fell apart while I was in the mall, and I had to in the hood my pants all the way home and get an octopus strap and put it through the keepers for 2 weeks until the the pension came in, and I could buy the cheapest belt I could because all my money was earmarked for debts. And boss of the house didn't help me with those debts, and so I had my hockey strap belt for another 2 weeks. I had an hockey strap back belt for a month, and it was not bad. I mean, you wouldn't want to do it for the rest of your life, but just for for practice sake, hockey strap belt. Very forgiving in the old you've put on 20 kilos department. Very forgiving in the old you've lost 30 kilos department. Not that I know yet. I just want to throw something at boss of the house, but I can't think of what.
Oh dear.
Oh, here's a dirty sock.
A dirty sock.
Boss of the house.
Why not?
Yeah. Here we go. Not a movement. He's pretending that it didn't affect him.
Oh, well.
I think at the end of the broadcast, however, I'm going to catch hell. How are you? What's going on?
Oh, the usual, weekend winding down. I made it through the 2 hours, which I'm slightly surprised at because I think Friday and Saturday night were catching up with me.
With me, for damn sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. I stayed on until 2 a.m. So it was like...
I couldn't. I was fading. And I thought if bloody... what's his handle? What's his fucking handle? Shannon. What's Shannon's handle?
What? Oh, Grasshopper.
Grasshopper. I thought if Grasshopper said, "For the love of God, go to bed again, Aidsy," I'd be just so embarrassed. So I thought I was giving it a bit of zub. I could go, leave now. And
that was good self-policing because you didn't seem that bad. So that was good.
Thank you. And then I watched your video to wind down and woke up in the morning. Haven't actually slept in my bed for about 2 months. A bit embarrassing.
The chair's getting a bit of workout. Well, also, I slept on the lounge because when I've had a couple of drinkies, I snore like a chainsaw, apparently. So out of politeness to my better half, I slept on that. It's funny because I had the white shirt on and I didn't bother to undress because I'm like, I'm not allowed. Yeah, people might come in while I was asleep, so I'm not even going to bother to undress. So, just kind of undid the belt and put a little blankie on. I went to sleep. Then it was like early morning, and it's like, okay, I can go into the bedroom now because like Mrs. Angry will be awake now, and I can just like go and get some cuddles. And she just laughed when I came in because I'm like in the black pants and the white shirt, sort of half unbuttoned, and my hair's everywhere. And she just like, you look like a drunk businessman stumbling home on a Friday night. Because I'm really sleepy and my hair's everywhere, but I'm still wearing like this white shirt. She goes, yeah, it's like someone who's hit it a bit hard after work on a Friday night, stumbling home.
When I used to be married, I used to sneak home after comedians' parties at 3 and 4 in the morning, just fucked. After several substances, maybe only 2 drinks, but several substances. I was just rooted and like munted as fuck. And I used to try and sneak home, shoes off, key in the locker, quiet, and the cat would go meow and I'd go, shut the fuck up. The only time you're making noise is to dob me in, you little shit. And then always there'd be the better half going, where have you been? What have you been up to? Have you been having sex with other women, men, light poles, garbage bin, policemen? And
Yeah.
so every now and again, what I used to do was I used to burst through the door. I used to stomp up the driveway as hard as I could, like bang the door, get the keys in badly, slam the door open, make a noise, and go, aha! Like, open the bedroom door and say, "Take me, woman, I'm yours," and then she'd be asleep.
Yeah.
Like, dead tight, not a word, not a whisper.
Yeah.
As sleep as anything. And then I'd make a cheese sandwich and then watch TV and crash.
Yeah.
Good
I
trick.
think last time I threw up, because I don't very often, and this was some goodly years ago, 5 or 6 years ago was probably the last time I threw up from drinkies. I threw up on the train, like on the way home. And then which was embarrassing. I was that guy. And then as I got home, just as I got to the fence, I go, I'm going to hurl again. I shouldn't go into the bathroom. I'll do it. It'll be like fertilizer. I'll just throw up on the garden here. And also I won't disturb anyone if I throw up here. So I hurled into the garden and then I'm going to the house. I go, okay. And I was doing the thing like, I'm going to wake this angry up. I'll sleep on the lounge so I don't disturb her. And I'm doing stuff. And she comes out, what are you doing? And I, am I not being quiet? You're really not. Also, the throwing up in the garden woke me up, and I went,
was a thing. Yeah.
When you're that drunk, you go, am I not being quiet? No, you're bumping into things. And yeah. Not good. Not good.
My old man did pull the beauty once. He wasn't drunk. He was sober as a judge. And a judge that's not been drinking. And,
judge that's not been drinking.
And he was driving off to Squash, Squash.
Yeah.
And he was driving our family's luxury car, and the floor mat was crooked. So he's leant down as he's driving to get the floor mat the right way, and then managed to drive the car up the road on the parkway. Now in Canberra, parkways are freeways, so he's going 110. He's driven up the embankment, fucking rolled it,
steep embankment,
fucking slap down onto the on the parkway, and it screech, and then across the embankment in the middle, down the trench, up the trench, and pointed the right way, going the other way toward home.
The other way.
Well, that was fucked. And then he's driven the car home, and the wheels are like, fuck, they're shredded. It's like, there's like dents and crap all in the car. It's steaming and crap. He gets through in, and he goes, oh, hi guys, crashed the car. I'll leave the keys in it. We'll get it in the morning. Then comes inside, gets the keys to the ute, gets in there, and where are you going? Squash, and then leaves.
Oh my God.
Are you hurt? No. And then just goes. And what are we going to do about a car? I will fix it. No, what are we going to do about a car?
You're taking a car,
It's like, I'll give you a lift to school. You'll be right. No. And my mother's going, me and the youngest child, what are we? Well, aren't you going to be ringing the insurance and the mechanics tomorrow? You'll be busy.
I had to in peak hour. I had to pull up onto the traffic island in Punt Road, like in the middle of Punt Road, because food poisoning kicked in. I don't know what had done to me, and I was just in this traffic, and I went, "Oh, I'm going to hurl. I'm going to hurl big. Oh my God!" And I was in a conservative workplace. I was wearing a full business suit and tie, and I drove up onto the traffic island, pushed out the door and stumbled, and then was just on my hands and knees throwing up like a madman. And just because peak hour, so many cars went past while I was doing it. I was just thinking, even as I was throwing up, I was thinking a lot of stories are going to be told tonight. A lot of stories about this guy in a business suit on his hands and knees in the middle of Punt Road throwing his guts up.
Do you remember that you and I were going to have a fucking massive New Year's Eve one night?
Yes.
And I was coming home from yours after we'd put a few in the can.
Yes.
Because we didn't know how fucked we were going to be for the next few days.
Yes.
And we'd put a few in the can. And
Yeah.
I was going home, and for some reason, G-Man was there. And
yeah.
I was going home, and then on the tram, I've gone, I feel not at all well.
Yeah.
And so I've done everything. If I was thinking what I would have done was gone in between the carriages and pulled the rubber open and hug. And as it was, all I could do was try and get the rubber between the doors and hug out there. It doesn't work. I hugged all in the door.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not good.
And so we get into Flinders, and everyone's coming in the door and going, "Oh, that's delightful." I'm going, "Not me," and I'm looking like death. Get out at Flinders, and G-Man says, "Well, good luck to you, mate," because he's seen me do this before, and I've been fine. And he goes, "Anyway," I go, "I'm not fine," and I go over to the bin. Of course, all the train station bins are transparent.
Oh, yeah, plastic bags now, yeah.
So you can't put bombs in them.
Yeah.
And I've opened up the fucking recycled bin because, and hug, and I'm thinking this is just not going to stop. And then it starts to become blood. And I'm going, oh, this is not what I'm looking for. And then the cops turn up. Who the fuck knew? And they go, is this alcohol related? And I go, and they go, have you got any ID? And I just hand them my wallet. And I hug. And one of the other cops said, fuck, you could have been a bit bloody, considerate about it and hugged in the all rubbish bin, not the recycling. I've gone, hug. And the cops are looking at that and they're going, that doesn't smell like alcohol at all. And they're going, no, that doesn't. And they're looking at each other going, So, Adrian, hug. And then one of the other cops said quite plainly, oh, and that is blood. And they're going, we're going to be calling an ambulance now. So they call this ambulance. The ambulance turns up.
One of several New Years you've ended up in hospital. But
well, the thing that it shat me to tears.
It's also bedtime.
We're going to have a fucking huge one, and we'd organised it. I don't know if you remember it, but we'd organised it.
Yeah.
And spent quite a lot of money organising it.
Yeah.
And it might have been the day before New Year's Eve. Anyway, it was the day before New Year's Eve. And I get in there and they go, oh, we don't like that you're spewing up blood. We'll have to give you an emergency CAT scan. I'm going, great. You'll have a look. You'll see what it is. You'll let me go. New Year's is on. And I'm going, oh, cool. How fast will that be? And they said, well, it's between Christmas and New Year's. You'll be lucky to get this before Tuesday. And I'm going, no.
Yeah.
No. And then, of course, it didn't happen. And I watched.
I know. You can actually see some fireworks from your room, I remember.
Yeah, I watched the fireworks with the guy with brain damage who said that Jesus loved me 15 times. And a guy that had been in Australia from Greece since 1967 and couldn't speak English properly. And a guy that had tried to kill himself. And the world was fucked, and I was just going. It just doesn't. Sometimes you just can't win, and it's you're that. And I kept on remembering my brother's words to me when we were youngsters. He said, "Mate, you're one of life's perennial losers."
Oh, that's harsh.
That's harsh, but unfortunately, I've not been able to turn around and go, "Aha."
But no.
However,
anyway,
keep on
now
living.
I'm one of life's bed goers because it's bedtime.
Well, this is right. And I was going to say, but I keep on living, so fuck him. Well done, Belt. Hello, everyone. Sorry I was late.
That's okay. And
I
hi, Glee, but yes.
yeah, I was goonabating, and I'll see you later.
So, won't be a live stream tomorrow night, but sometime during the week, certainly. So, bye all.
Bye all.
Night.